All right. Morning to everyone. Please open up and say where you're calling in from. This is Humanity Call today. Open up, say where you're from.
Good morning.
Polly from Florida.
Florida.
Polly, Florida.
Florida.
From Barbados.
Barbados, welcome.
New York.
Liz Ola, Rancho Cucamonga,
San Jose,
California.
David Walton from New Hampshire.
Denny Strickland, Tennessee.
Shireen, Trinidad.
Trinidad.
I'm Yvonne from Canada.
Canada, welcome.
Barbados.
Barbados, welcome, welcome.
Ohio.
California.
Ohio, welcome to the call. California, welcome to the call.
Georgia.
Georgia, welcome to the call.
Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver, Canada, welcome to the call. You guys are awesome. Next out already. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Canada, welcome to the call. Barbados, welcome to the call.
Houston, Nevada.
Nevada, welcome to the call. All right.
Connie from
Texas, welcome to the call. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and mute out real quick. Thank you for sharing. We just want people to know that we are all over the globe. We are growing at an enormous rate. I know you guys are seeing what's happening all around. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute so we don't have any disturbances during the call, and we're all now muted. So I want to cover a couple things today. There's a lot of information. We got a lot of stuff for you, a lot of great stuff coming down the pike, and some restructuring. So first, I want you guys to understand why the restructuring, and so you can see in real time, in real life, how restructuring works in a company. So I'm gonna hit. This is a real company. It's how real companies work. Okay, this is super, super important. So I posted this in the group so people could see this as well. But this is how Instagram, and everybody knows Instagram. Okay, this is a little bit of history on Instagram, right? And it says the explosive rise at Silicon Valley fairy tale, company gaining staggering momentum, a few short months. Photo video sharing social media application took only 8 weeks. Software developers before it launched Apple's mobile operating system. Okay, all good tales. The process involved many twists, turns, failures, and successes, conflicts and synergies, and a dose of fortuitous happenstance. Okay, so these are key takeaways. Instagram started off video sharing social media application, right? First prototype Instagram web called Bourbon, right? This is for fine whiskeys and bourbons. Okay, Instagram launched, racked up a bunch of users, right? And it was about featuring photographs, taking mobile devices. My point is, the most important thing for you to see here, you can read this yourself, is that it says right here, twists, turns, failures, successes, conflicts. This is what it takes to build a real company. Here's another example, okay? Here's another example. Anybody's ever heard of this little company called Uber, okay? Look at, this is Uber, okay? Uber conceived, but today's Uber is a global company with a growing on-demand food delivery business, self-driving arm. Got to move away from the promoting luxury service in some markets. So it says it's a stark contrast to what the company originally called Uber Cab was created to be. In its first pitch deck, the co-founder and board member Garrett Camp published, all right, it was created to be a faster luxury alternative to cabs. So Uber was not launched to be what Uber is today. It was launched to be a fast luxury alternative to cabs, which was members only. Okay, that's how Uber started. Okay, not what it is today at all. You can also read this article if you like. I can drop this article in the group as well. So having to readjust is part of building a real company, because when you get out there and you see what's happening, then you have to adjust. All right. But here's what hasn't changed at all. Let me pause this for 1 second. Here's what hasn't changed at all. And open this up for. So here's what has not changed in humanity. Okay, real people, and you guys seen this lady and all of our groups jumping around helping. But these people from our community that ended up in Nigeria in some kind of way, they reached out to her and they connected. The connection hasn't changed, guys. Here's this real quick.
Stephanie from Texas. Yeah, so we are in the humanity family, and we're here to say activate humanity.
Now you can see Shay's blushing. right? She's over there blushing. Why? Because it's real. This is real, 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 real. Okay. People that she's been talking to on the phone and helping them out. And now these people she's sitting in the living room with them across the world. These people right here have been helping her and many other people. And you'll meet them again here shortly because we're integrating everything together. But some of the presentations, the PowerPoints that you see being built are built by a lady in our group that joined Humanity 3-4 years ago, and Humanity helped her to graduate college. This is the real, real, real work, guys. Okay, this is what's happening every single day. So let me show you how today we have pivoted and how we're going to be the biggest thing on blockchain, right? And we put in the work in every single day. You guys see us posting all around because from early in the morning here in Vietnam, we are meeting with people, and we're going to talk to you about some things partnerships that we formed here. So we have our own Facebook type, Instagram type, Web3 platform that you and I own our own data on. So nobody can ever kick you off of it again. Okay, that's a partnership that's happening right now. We'll talk about that later on in another video, but that's active live today, already working. We've got people testing it, and those guys are backed by some heavy duty people with heavy duty names, and they got money. Okay, so they just want to see our process working. All right, so we right there at the edge of this thing going berserk bonkers. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kraft, for putting this video together. She took her time to get on the phone with myself and Marcus. I don't know, maybe whatever crazy hour it was for her, but she took this time to put this together so everyone here can understand how everything is working, why it is, because to be quite frank, she does a better video than we do. All right, and so Dr. Kraft has been promoted to be one of the master trainers here at Humanity, right? And so we really appreciate the work she's done. But if you haven't understood this, she took her time to put this video together and make it really, really clear. And I'll explain one or two things with this after the video.
Hi, family. I'm going to give a brief presentation to explain the new developments of Humanity Protocol that will streamline everything for all of us. And the brilliance of our President Marcus, this is going to break down very simply. We have work, which are the NFTs, and we have our banks. This will make more sense when I show the next slide. But basically, it will expedite all of our success and increase the value of all of our assets. So, how is this broken down? Basically, what Marcus had come to realize is that the majority of the money will be made in the banks. And because of that, and because of how loyal he is to all of us that have been here from day one supporting this project, there had to be a way that everybody benefited from bank shares. Absolutely had to be a way. So in order to streamline and create that benefit, all the NFT holders, so the amount of NFTs that NFT holders have, we have the commissions and the matching that is still owed. We have the people who contributed to the crown, the key activation. Those were those $1,000 pieces of pie out of 300. And those who contributed to the gold contribution. These assets in dollar amount will be converted into bank shares and HP token, which is our Humanity Protocol token, one of our new tokens that starts at $1. So basically, that's the reason why I put these two images here. All of your assets get converted into bank shares and HP tokens. What does that mean a little bit further? The total dollar amount paid is the total dollar amount of bank shares. So, and the total profit is paid in HP tokens. So because of this conversion, none of the pools need to exist any longer. The crown, the key activation, the gold, etc. Because based on your assets and based on the amount that converts into with bank shares and HP token, it will be much more of a percentage, much more money to be made. So as an example, if you were an ambassador and you paid $1,200 for the 100 NFTs, you are going to get $1,200 worth of bank shares. So we know the bank shares are $120 a piece. So that's 10 bank shares. And because you bought the NFTs at $12 and they closed out at $15, there's a $300 profit. And that $300 profit you will be given in HB tokens. Okay? Just to further lock in that example and that understanding. An angel came in at $12,000 for 1,000 NFTs. So you're going to get $12,000 in bank shares. That means if you are an angel, you will own a bank. Is that correct? Yes. And then again, the difference in the profit from when you purchase the NFTs to when the NFTs closed at $15 is $3,000, and you will get that in HP tokens because they're $1 a piece. Okay? For the NFT and the gold contribution, the dollar amount that you put in, so if you did $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in the key activation, or you did 5,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 into the gold contribution, the equal amount in the dollar amount will be given in bank shares. And again, each share is 120. So whatever, if you put $10,000 in, divide 10,000 by either the 1,200 positions or the 120, and that will tell you how many bank positions you have. Okay? Cash commissions and the gold, the 3 times and the matching will be paid in HP tokens, because the payment we get from the banks will, in the future, will be in HP tokens. Okay, so if you put in, let's say $5,000 for the gold, you're going to get $5,000 worth in bank shares, and then your 3 times, so you would have gotten 15,000 total, you're going to get 10,000 in HP tokens. So the 5,000 again is the bank shares, $5,000 worth, not 5,000 bank shares, but $5,000 worth of bank shares. And then the remaining 3 times and matching would be paid in HP tokens for the exact 1-to-1 dollar amount. Okay, so I hope that is pretty straightforward. Of course, we're going to explain it further. We'll have this recording for you to watch over and over again, and then we will also be answering questions. But that is pretty much what has been developing over the last week or so. Okay, thanks everybody.
Let's make this real simple, right? Everybody understands back in 2000, nobody really understood what the internet was. And all the businesses that didn't have, any business that got onto the internet first made money. Didn't matter if you, whatever you did, you made money because you were the first onto the internet. So there was a big transition of all the businesses that were off the internet. At one point in time, people were like, well, do I need a website? I don't think I need a website. Where should I? Today, if you don't have a website, you are irrelevant. You don't exist in the world of business today. Okay. So all the businesses move from offline to the internet. Okay. This is the next major phase. All the businesses on the internet today, as we know it, are moving from the internet today, as we know it, Web 2 onto Web 3, which gives us this big opportunity. So it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. If your neighborhood, whatever kind of business is on Web 3 first, they will make money. All we're doing is facilitating that move for all the businesses that are currently on Web 2. We're positioning ourselves to be the first real blockchain that has the credibility to be able to allow all this movement from the current Web 2 to Web 3. It took 20 years for the internet to become what it is today, but because so many people are already on the internet, already using the internet, and as part of people's everyday process, I suppose it'll probably take 2.4 years instead of 24 years to get to happen. So we're right in the right place at the right time, and everything is happening to facilitate the move of all the business from Web 2, the current website, the current internet as we know it, onto Web 3. That's what's happening today. And that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna ask you for a little bit of human space, because since nobody's done web 2 to web 3 before, give us a little bit of room to make adjustments, to mature in our understanding, and to make corrections as we go along. There's no way to know everything that is going to happen up front until some of it starts to happen as we go through this process. So I appreciate everyone for giving us that space to make it work. But as you guys can tell, things are working, all right? And in the next day or two, we'll show you some of the other protocols that we have that we added on and everything else like that. So I'm gonna pause for 1 second. Good. So again, we thank you for working through this with us, because again, as our understanding in terms of how things were working on the ground on blockchain, and we had to adjust from being the luxury company car that Uber started out as, luxury car members only, into what we are today. But today, as you see how how Uber grew, this is what we're about to do right this minute. Okay, so by doing what you saw Dr. Kraft explain in the video, it enabled us to be able to separate these things. So we got just 2 things, and I'm gonna have the president explain these things in detail, a little bit more in detail, so you can get a better understanding, because this is how we take over everything right now. Okay, but what it does is that it allowed us, instead of having to focus or try to get NFT make money on this side and the other thing make money on this other side, another, our attention for making money was split 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways. But what this allows us to do, it allows us to be able to focus only on 2 areas: money in the banks, right, or money on work, right? And so by doing it that way, we're able to make everyone here a lot more profitable, and we're able to turn on your profit immediately. And then we'll do some trainings to teach you how to be able to manage those profits, to grow them over the next few weeks. All right. So I'm gonna hand you off to the president right here, and he'll go ahead and connect and explain some of this part right here, United Protocol. So welcome, Mr. President, Mr. Marcus Dukes.
Hello, Humanity family. Hello, team. Hello, everybody. Super exciting stuff going on. I want everybody to wrap your head around this. Obviously, nobody gets everything first time out. It's a lot of information, so all good. Don't expect you to get it all out first time, but I do want you to get it. Super excited on this end. You guys have no idea how many things are going on, and we're fielding 100+ calls a day. This is now from investors, from people in blockchain, from people who are in the industry who understand it. Now we have one of the best, if not the best thing in blockchain, and trying to partner. And we have a lot of partnerships and things to announce. But before we did that, we wanted to get our final last structure in place, so we can all benefit from what we're doing, so we can maximize the benefit for the people who we're trying to help as they help us. This is humanity. We help each other. That's what the Humanity Helping Hand is about. We're helping them, they helping us, we helping them, everybody's helping everybody, right? So I want to make sure we get the last structure, and just to repeat what Jamal said, what Dr. Kraft said. What we found out is that it's no matter what everything else does, there's going to be more money made in banks than anything. And so the challenge was to keep all these other projects, keep all these other different things going, or to put everybody in banks. But we know if we put everybody in banks, everybody has the same opportunity, we get the same return. And we don't want a scenario where a month or 2 months, 3 months down later, everybody said, well, I got this return, I did this at this time, I got that return, I got this. Everybody should be together. So ultimately it came down to bringing everybody into the bank program, and then focusing all the money-making effort, all the money-making side on the banking program, and maxing that out and let you guys have the greatest benefit possible. Now, that's for your benefit. At the same time, it makes it super easy for investors and other people to understand. So they don't have to crawl through this piece. They can say, this is how this works. This is about our free NFTs being claimed by people. It's about the finance, the economy, the decentralized economy of the world, which you guys heard me talk about before. And to participate in that decentralized economy in the world, you really want to be part of this banking system. But there's only 300 banks, and those banks are going to be owned primarily by all the people on this phone call. Because by shifting people over, we're primarily the people on this phone call and the people who are related, but not on this phone call, will own all the banks. Which means you're on a big piece of the decentralized economy of the world, and you'll be locked in. So you have the NFT owners, the 1.5 million NFT owners. You have the bank owners, and then you have our tokens, right? Your SRS token, our HP token, all the tokens. That's basically our ecosystem tied together by smart contracts. That's basically our ecosystem. Now, and the people on this phone call are the primarily owners, the 1.5 million people, the people who are trying to get help are the primary owners of the SRS token. The people on this phone call are the primary owners of the banking system. And everybody will have opportunity to get the future tokens, but this is the ecosystem. By restructuring this way, it makes it very easy for us to have a clear business model that everybody can understand and understand the value of what we're doing. So that was the reason for doing it. We know financially it's the best thing to do for everybody. Again, as Jamal said, I've been in the startup world for over 30 years, over 20 years, excuse me, over startup world for over 20 years. And very few startups that go on to be billion-dollar companies or multi-billion-dollar companies get there with the same original idea they had. The funny thing is actually we do have the same original idea that we had. We just got clarity on how it's going to play out in line with technology and blockchain. But we do have the exact same thing. And the proof of it is the meeting today that happened in Nigeria, because we're still connecting people to Nigerians, to Africans, now to people in Vietnam and Asia and all over the world who need help. That's the job that we do. That's the job that we do. So super excited about everything. Again, a ton of inbound calls. We're sorting through those, seeing what are the right investors, what's the right platforms to launch our tokens on, et cetera. So all that is exciting stuff. That's number one. Or number one, maybe number two, maybe even number three. So in addition to that, I want to go over a few things just so you guys can start understanding what's the next step and how do we transition from here. You know, it's almost all of you know probably Bitcoin originally, you know, there was no crypto exchanges when Bitcoin started. Bitcoin originally was given to a handful of technology people who helped the project, and from being handed out to those people started engaging with other people to use Bitcoin and say, yeah, you should use Bitcoin. I should give you some of this Bitcoin, and not even use it, just hold it. Just literally, there was no use for it at that time, except for pizza. As a personal story, I don't know the pizza guy, but I do know a guy personally, a friend of mine who was one of the very early Bitcoin adopters, because he got paid in Bitcoin for a video game about 2 years after Bitcoin started. Not even that, about a year and a half after Bitcoin started. And he ended up, this was in 2018, last time I checked his Bitcoin count, or 2019, he had 11,000 Bitcoin, right? You know, and he got his first 1,000 Bitcoin from a video game, from selling a video game. So originally there wasn't a use case for it, but it was just passed around among friends and technology people. And ultimately there became trading, and ultimately people used to sell it at restaurants and sell to each other, transfer to each other. And eventually there became exchanges, and this became this whole ecosystem for crypto. You know, why do I bring that up? You know, in the beginning, the only people who had Bitcoin were the only people who had Bitcoin. So they were the only people who could affect the price of Bitcoin. Today, primarily, all of us are the only people who have SRS, and all of us are the only people who are going to have Humanity Protocol token, which is coming out now. And therefore, we control the token. Now, we can do anything you want to with the token, the Humanity Protocol token. When you get it, it's going to be more freely trading than the SRS, because the SRS trading is in a protected state somewhat, because we know this is the token that goes to the NFT holders. We want to make sure the NFT holders, the people who need help, have a valuable token, because that's the centerpiece of them rebuilding their financial life. So you understand that. That's why it's coming out slow. We put it out slow. We let it trade slowly, and it's growing. We're increasing liquidity slowly, but we're doing that strategically, because this is the token that ends up in the NFTs, which ends up in the hands of the poorest people on the planet who need the utility of it. Okay, Humanity Protocol is going to be mostly in your hands and their hands, but it's going to be more freely traded. It's going to be more freely traded, you know, so it's going to have an opportunity to trade more freely. Now, ultimately, as we've always said, we believe SRS will be one of the top 5, if not greater, one of the top 3, one of the top tokens on the planet, you know, bigger than Bitcoin. So we also believe that Humanity Protocol will be a significant token. So we're going to create the value for that, and create the value for that by putting it into the community and getting that out trading. Now, so with that being said, you actually see my screen. I guess it's already up. It's already sharing. So okay, good. So quickly, want to go through 2 things just so you can get the concept of it. We're going to go through it more and more each day, but you know, these are basically now in our launch phase. These are the five categories in which we want people to act. First is activate humanity. Activate humanity. Part of activate humanity is you guys see the helping hands. See the helping hands, and the helping hands are bringing more and more attention to humanity every single day. Thousands and thousands of people around the world globally are putting up their hand, taking their photos, posting it on social media, posting it in Telegram, and letting people know I'm part of humanity. You know, which is going to generate a tremendous amount of buzz and interest in us. What it also does, it proves that we're a real project. Nobody else on blockchain can do it because they don't have real people. They have people who are buying tokens and selling tokens and trying to make money. They don't have real people who could go do anything. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us the most important project in blockchain. So this act of putting up your hand, taking a picture, posting it, that act alone creates value for you, creates value for the tokens, creates value for the bank. It creates value every which way because it shows we have lots of real people, from doctors and lawyers who are on this phone, to people in Africa, to people all the in between, who are all together in Activate Humanity. Super important, super big deal. And that's why we're pushing it. That's why you see it everywhere and everybody's pushing it. I know some people are like, I don't like to put on social media. I don't like to put my hand up. And nobody's forcing you to put your hand up, but it helps every person in humanity when we do that, period. Number 2 is community staking. Community staking, everybody understands community staking. This is our core way that we put money into the system. Why? Because community staking helps everybody in the system. It is the tide that raises all boats. So when you community staking, money goes to buy the coin, money goes to liquidity pool, money goes to help people in Africa, money goes to the things that help you build wealth. Community staking is the tide that raises all boats. So everybody understands community staking is one of our core things. Community organizing. Community organizing is being a governor, guardian, and master builder, is bringing people into the system. The organizers are also the same people who are going to have a vote. Because if you're bringing people into the system, you should have a vote, and what happens in the system, and your people should have a vote. So the community organizers are the main humanity governance mechanisms, or the main people who will have a vote in governance. Business owners bring value, because most of the wealth in the world today is built in businesses. It used to be land and oil and other things. Most of the wealth today is built in businesses. So business owners are now bringing business. This is the big thing that Jamal talked about at the beginning of this part of the conversation, which is that every business was offline, had to go online. So therefore, trillions of dollars of businesses moved online. Every business that's online has to go to blockchain. So trillions of dollars, hundreds of trillions of dollars of business have to go to blockchain. Our business owners inside of humanity will help bring those businesses to blockchain. The people who brought those businesses to the internet made millions and sometimes billions of dollars. People who do the same for blockchain are going to do the same. So our business owners have an opportunity to, business owners and business startups have an opportunity to bring these businesses onto the blockchain. And that's a big deal. And then lastly, our banking and investing. Banking and investing, we understand we have our banking program, and everything runs about banking, operates the finance business. So these are the 5 areas from now. So everybody can do something in these areas every day to help humanity grow. You pick which area you want. You don't have to work in all the areas. You pick which area you want to activate yourself in, you want to work in, you work in that area, you have every day you have steps that you can do. And we're going to have a 30-day campaign now to activate humanity, to really launch this thing to the highest level, to make us known throughout blockchain, make us one of the top blockchain companies, a 30-day push. So everybody should look, starting tomorrow, so every March 1st, so everybody should look at this board. We're going to put this out, see where you want to activate yourself, see what you can do, see how you can participate with us to make this the biggest blockchain. It really already is the biggest and most important blockchain out there, to make it known, the biggest and best known project that's out there. So that's that more information about that 30-day push is coming. And I'll just talk about the business of humanity, right?
So let me get some clear real quick. So the first part is the work piece.
Yep.
Now this is
Right.
the investing bank.
Exactly. So the first part, what we just talked about, is the work piece, the work of humanity. That's how all the actual function of humanity gets done. This is now really talking about how assets are created inside the humanity, because again, most of the wealth created in the world today is created in startups and business and technology-based businesses. So this is how wealth is created. So what you're seeing here, we've already talked about African Startup League, but now since we're global, we have the name now as Dream Play, not African Startup League anymore, but since we're global. And also we've always talked about these infrastructure companies, these rails. The point of the infrastructure companies were to allow the basic infrastructure. Think if you went to a new area, a desert in Dubai, you went to a desert, you wanted to build a city, you had to build water, you had to build certain infrastructure first before you could build everything else. You couldn't just go and say, okay, I'm gonna throw up a building and there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no roads, no anything. So you had to have the infrastructure companies first. And so what we picked is the infrastructure companies that are needed to build the rest of the global decentralized economy. And those infrastructure areas are communications, finance, distribution, labor, identity, payments, gold, and real estate. So those are infrastructure companies. We call our infrastructure companies Econets. Okay. So our infrastructure company called Econet, economic networks. And we have 8 economic networks that we're gonna build out now, that we've been talking about for a year, but now you see them, now they're already being built out. Some of them you've interacted with, which is Red Matter Capital as the lead for our finance Econet. You've interacted with it. Most of you have a Red Matter Capital account, but some of the other ones you have not interacted with, but you're going to start interacting with, because now we're launching these Econets. We've decided to make that the Econets become the first Dream Play competition, instead of just having general startups. The reason we decided to do that, because we know these are going to be winners. We know these have been set up to be billion-dollar companies. They've been set up to be the next Ubers of the world. So since we know these are winners, we want to start right now Dream Play. So we've already started. You're going to hear more about Dream Play, how you can participate, how you can pick one of these 3 Econets and you can participate in it. And if it wins Dream Play, you will be considered one of the founding team, and that you can get additional tokens and coins in that. Also going to show you how, as a bank owner, and through the HP token, you're going to get additional tokens and coins in that. So now the whole ecosystem is live. Every single thing that we're doing is live. Everything, the banks are already going to start making money. We're going to talk about that. But we'll break that down on the bank call, how the banks are already going to start making money. But we're going to start for the completed banks. You're going to start getting drops of your HP token as early as the weekend. So people are going to start getting every single week. The banks will be earning, both from that and from community staking and other ways that we talked about before. So everything is live in our ecosystem. Now we're just kind of getting it out to you. So here on this page, you have SRS, which is our token everybody knows. Under that, we have our first sub token, which is HP. HP token we're going to put out a paper on that. Yesterday it's out. We're going to put out a paper to give you a full description of what HP token is. But basically, here's the way to look at it. Think of HP token as our bank token. And our bank token, it has to do a couple of things. Right now, we're going to use it as our payment token. So when people in Africa or wherever, in Vietnam and everywhere else, when they go and activate humanity, when they do work today, they're going to get paid our HP token. Okay. Number 2, when the banks, we call it bank dividends, we call it bank revenue or rewards. The bank rewards are going to get paid in HP token. So every week there's going to be HP token paid to all the banks that are completed. If your bank is not completed, then you won't get paid then. But when your bank is completed, then you'll start getting paid your HP token. Okay, so HP token will be paid to all the banks that are completed. Okay. Third thing, HP token is tied to our payment license with the Royal Family of Dubai. So HP token has a revenue share for the payment license of the Royal Family of Dubai. Fourth thing is HP token. Now, this is super important. We talked about the bank program, and you guys remember we showed you Amazon and Facebook. And Facebook have returned 786%, Amazon 14 million%. And we said the big thing about the banks is that you get access to early opportunities and companies that may become big startups. So the mechanism for that, HP token is the banking token. So most people have HP. If you, as a bank, you get HP and you take your HP and you stake it, you're going to get tokens in Econets for free. You'll get tokens in the Dream Play winners for free. So again, super, 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 super important. All banks are going to get HP tokens. You get HP tokens every week. You're going to get HP tokens. The bank organizers, we'll talk about that later, they're going to get HP tokens as well. A staked HP token gives you Econet companies and all the pieces of the startups for free. So the people who have HP tokens, who have banks, people who keep the HP tokens that they earn, stake those tokens, they get part of the ecosystem. The companies, the startups, they're going to go on to be the big startups in blockchain. You get those startups for free and get an opportunity to buy those startups at the very beginning, additional amounts at the very beginning before anybody else can buy them, before they go on the market, before it goes up. That's the way the system that's tied from the banks to the HP tokens to the Econet to the Dream Play. Super important. I can promise you this, people will do whatever they need to do to get a hold of your HP tokens. And that's why we say you have the people who've helped create this ecosystem will have all the HP tokens in the beginning. But people will do what's necessary to get a hold of your HP token. But whether you're the smallest guy in the world or you're the biggest venture capital or professional investment banker or banker in the world, doesn't matter who you are. The only way that you can get Econet and all these things early is that you have HP token. And the only way to get HP token is to buy it from you. Okay, that's the world. That's how this thing works. Now, I'm not expecting you guys to understand all of that right now, but this is what's coming down. After we start distributing HP, the first thing that we're going to launch, Econet, because Econet C, which is communication, Econet F, which is finance, Econet D, which is distribution, are going to be competitors in the Dream Play, which is going to conclude on August the 8th, with one of those being the winner. And 1/3 of you being connected to that winner, or more being connected to that winner. But the first Econet we're going to launch is actually a gold token, which is going to launch really, really quickly. So, but the only people who are going to get it out are the people who have HP, because it's going to kick out gold tokens to the people who have HP first and foremost, and allow them to get in at the opening first before everybody else. So now we have a gold contract, we have gold partners as well. So now we're bringing all of this together. So everybody who has gold, who has HP, and has stakes that HP, and we'll tell you how to do that, will end up with gold token as well. So they end up with HP and gold token, and they'll end up with all the rest of the Econet tokens that will be distributed to you as long as your HP remains staked. If you unstake your HP, then during the time that the tokens are given out, then you will not receive tokens. If you sell your HP and the other person, whoever receives it, stakes it, they'll receive those tokens. That's the way the system works. And so effectively, this is our launch pad. This is a humanity protocol launch pad for new startups and for companies that want to participate with the humanity protocol. But this is the mechanism by which it works. You have HP, you stake your HP, you get the Econet tokens, you get an Econet token airdrop to you, and you get an opportunity to buy more Econet tokens at the original price before they go trade. That's how that system works. That's how the banks, as we were saying earlier, now you get more detail how the banks get all the early opportunities. Okay. So that, I'm going to share that with you. I know it's a lot of information, but this is the last iteration of what we're doing. The banks, the work, how everything works, the Econets, now the infrastructure companies. You've heard all of this stuff before, so it's really not new. But this is how it all works. This is also why the Humanity Protocol impersonator can't really go anywhere, because he hasn't done all of this work. And we've done all this work. We have real people all over the world who are doing this project. So now it's time for us to go explode. The best thing you can do is stay tuned every day, activate yourself, do something for humanity, do something for yourself, do something for the people every day. And we're gonna make those simple things, the simple things for you to do, so you can see how to create value. And in 30 days from now, everybody in the blockchain world, maybe everybody in the world, will know Humanity Protocol. So with that, I want to turn back over to Jamal, because we want to keep this call roughly around 1 hour and get you guys back to what you're doing. And also we can get back to work and continue putting everything out. Humanity Protocol is about to explode. You're already part of it. Excited about it. Everything has been done. Even the banks, the shift to banks is to your benefit. 100% is to your benefit. We're trying to explain it, but for a fact, it's to everybody's benefit, because that's where the money's going to be. And we want to make sure everybody get the maximum benefit. So with that, and that's what, but also lastly note, that's going to eat up also most of the banks. So we're probably going to go from where we at now to less than 100 banks left by the time we get through the conversions. So everybody convert. So that's going to also eat up most of the banks as well. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Do me a favor, please, guys, show some love in the chat for the president, because, you know, this is a lot of work. We on this thing 15 hours a day. Thank you so much. From lacking a, yeah, probably more than that. Huh? Yeah. So show some love in the chat for the president. I know everybody doesn't fully understand all the details of everything at this point, but you will as we continue to go forward. You can see how all this work is being done. These things don't get put together, you know, by themselves. It's a lot of work. So I'm gonna stop right here on the share. All right, and I'm gonna pause this here real quick.